Okay, what is up, everybody? And welcome to another edition of Smark Guys, our ongoing pro wrestling commentary show. I am Darkside Phil, and with me, as always, is John Rambo.
That's right. We've gone corporate.
He's dressed up today. Look at this.
Joined the authority.
What is this?
I've gone corporate, Phil.
Is it best for business that
it's best for business that I present myself in a more corporate manner.
Wow.
The WWE was excellent this week. Triple H is a great executive. Vince McMahon is a father figure to me.
Wow.
Stephanie's like a sister I never had.
Wow.
And El Torito is a great joy to be in the same room as.
John, did the devil make you say that?
The devil made me do it.
The devil made him do it. All right. So welcome to Smark Guys. We've got quite a lot to talk about this week. Coming off of the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. Okay. And all the outcomes of everything from there, leading into Raw. And we're really, seriously, this week, we now see where they're going with their new plot lines. I'm sure some people are excited, some people are disappointed. I guess we'll have to see. I'm gonna be honest with everyone, I fell asleep in the middle of Raw this week, so I know like half of what happened. So I'm going to be reading the results and learning some stuff for the first time, so I hope you'll forgive me. Usually I watch it adamantly, but this week with all the midnight releases and everything going on, I was watching it and I went right out. And it was funny because I woke up like an hour later, so I missed like the middle hour. I was like, oh, I'll watch the rest now. And I watched the rest and I went to bed.
Some people watch, some people like it, some people don't watch at all.
Some people sleep.
Some people sleep during the show.
All right, so first of all, let's open up with Hell in a Cell. Let's talk about what happened. Pretty much exactly what we believed would happen happened, all right? You had John Cena, who went over Alberto... I can't say his name anymore.
That's how you say it.
Alberto Del Rio. He's the new World Heavyweight Champion. You had... I'm trying to think if anything else happened besides the WWE title match. Did anything happen of any significance?
CM Punk finally got his hands up Paul Heyman. And that great storyline that seemed like it lasted for 25 years.
Because it did.
Seems like it may be ending. Or
I think it is. Yeah, I think it's over. It's funny because Heyman's off TV now. So now Axel has nothing whatsoever to do. Because he's a Paul Heyman guy and there's no one for him anymore. So...
It was very, it's an anticlimactic ending. I mean, it's...
Well,
just going on and going and going.
See, it would have been hot if, like, after a month he got him. Now it's like 5 months or whatever, how long it was.
And then Ryback really brought nothing to it. He's pretty much, I don't know. He needs a total, like, reboot or something, man. I don't know. He
does. He absolutely does.
Yeah.
So Punk beats the shit out of Heyman with kendo sticks and GTS on top of the cell and all that. And then the main event, which quite literally was exactly what we said was going to happen. Some bullshit would happen. Excuse me. HBK was the special guest referee for Orton versus Bryan. He promised a definitive winner. There will be a WWE champion. As we predicted, swerving swerve, everyone, that you would never expect. HBK super kicks Daniel Bryan for absolutely no reason. Orton wins. There's a big celebration afterwards. And it's just pathetic at this point. Like, we knew it was coming, right? And it's like, how many times can you do this? How many times can you screw Bryan and not have a resolution? And that's like you've been saying. It would be all right if eventually, okay, we're coming to a conclusion, there'll be a resolution, he one-ups everyone. But when the main heel is Triple H, you know he's not going to one-up him. So therefore, what's the point of this whole storyline? You know?
There was no point. I mean, the storyline was bad all along. It was pretty boring, pretty bad. He just dragged it out. And then, but like what a lot of people said was if Bryan, in the end, gets to be the champion, he overcomes the evil, right? Then it was all worth it. It was okay. That was, you get from point A to point B, and it makes sense. But it looks like we're not even getting to that spot. It looks like we're not getting that.
So now Bryan has the distinction, because now he's out of this storyline, by the way. He won't be back. It's over. He won't be up for the title anymore. He's out.
And let's go back to it later, but I think the main problem is, his peak of popularity, the height of it was when he beat Cena for the title.
Right.
This is what we've been saying for weeks and weeks. Some people said, no, you're wrong. You're going to make it better, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, yeah, it's much
better.
But
they took that moment. It was literally a moment that he had the title, and that was the biggest moment. Standing ovation. This is incredible. And then from that point, they've chipped away slowly at it. They told you over and over again, you're a B+, you're not very good, you're not good enough to be a top guy. These other guys wouldn't even have matches with you, blah, blah, blah. And then in the end, he doesn't prove them wrong.
Right.
They were right, and that's the story. Like, what is that? What kind of a storyline is that,
And that's it. They just drop it.
A lot of people saw it coming.
They're just going to drop it.
I think a lot of people knew that's what was going to happen. But then there's always the people that want to believe, and I almost feel There's a special place in my heart for you. I feel almost bad. Like they want to believe that they're
believers, John.
that things will change here.
They keep it positive, and then they get
you don't know what you're talking
destroyed
about.
by WWE.
They're going to make it bigger than ever before by doing this, and then those people are always ultimately very disappointed in the end. And I feel bad for you.
Well, here's what happened. If you remember correctly, John Cena needed to go away for surgery. The doctors told him he was going to be out for 6 months, right?
Yes.
So I think what happened was WWE said, we know Daniel Bryan's white hot right now. Put him in the position, but then we'll do this screw job angle for, several months. I would almost say they probably had originally planned to do it all the way up to the Rumble, okay? And so it would maybe the title would go back and forth. Maybe for example, this time he would have won. He would have held the title for a month, and then again, and they would have went back and forth till the Rumble. And then at the Rumble, something would have happened, and it would have become eventually Cena, Bryan again. When Cena returns.
I don't think so.
But what happened was Cena healed incredibly fast against his doctor's wishes, by the way. Ended up having his elbow or his tricep heal within 2 months, and they wanted him back because they knew he sells merch. He's the guy who makes us the most money, gives us the most press, whatever. We want him back immediately. But they didn't want to toss him into that angle now because they've already established this angle where it's the Triple H Stephanie regime, and they will have whoever they want as the champion. Orton was the guy that they want. So to immediately toss Cena back into that angle, number one, wouldn't make sense. And number two, they realized at the same time they haven't been done anything with the World Heavyweight Championship in months. Yeah. So having Cena come back and now be the World Heavyweight Champion, number one, gives more attention to that title. It's going to definitively, it will give SmackDown a ratings boost to have Cena on there. All the kids are going to watch SmackDown now, so it helps their other product as well. And it allows this, whatever they want to do with this Orton storyline to evolve. Keep in mind they've had this thing with the Big Show as well. This Big Show storyline in the background because, again, like you said, I don't think they believed in Bryan enough to have it just be Bryan Orton. Right. They wanted to have something else going at the same time. Right. So now, okay, leave that separate, and I'll just toss Cena over here. He'll bump this up for a few months and see where it goes.
Here's the thing. You look at history. If they want someone to get over, they will get them over. If they want someone to be a top guy, they will make them a top guy. There's a huge segment of the audience that will just go, I like this guy.
Yep.
This is my guy. Simply because they tell them to. It's always been that way. They didn't want Bryan to be the top guy in the company. If they did, he would have beaten Cena, held the title, and then they would put challengers in his way, and he would beat them. That's what they've always done. That's what they did with Cena in the early days. You go up and down the line with guys that they want to do. They didn't want him to be the guy. Despite anything else, despite the fact that the fans want him to be, despite the fact that they probably would have made more money had they gone that route. Mm-hmm. Well, that's not what they wanted to do. I don't think it was ever intended for him to be the guy in the end.
As you can see, as he is prominently displayed, not as the back cover, but as the front cover of WWE 2K14, he is not the flip side of the insert at all. He is actually the guy on the front of the box, right, John?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, if you...
Sure he is.
But it's very simple, to make him, have him beat Cena. There you go, boom. Have Triple H be pissed that he's the winner. He puts different guys in his way, Orton, whoever.
Yep.
Bryan beats them. Eventually, Triple H goes, I'm going to stop you myself. He beats Triple H, and you have a made guy right there. For it's going to make you money and be in the eyes of the fans forever a top draw and whatever. But instead, they took him. They chipped away at it.
Yep.
And in the end, he's always going to be that guy. That wasn't good enough, just like they said.
Just like they said. How funny is it that their plot line is actually reality?
How is that how do you watch this? How is that a story? How is that a storyline? I don't understand.
John, I have a question. The not good enough Daniel Bryan storyline or Katie Vick, which is better?
It's very very similar to the CM Punk.
Put him on the spot.
It's extremely similar to CM Punk's storyline.
That's not an answer, John. Is it?
Katie Vick is always worse.
all right.
Let's be honest here. Let's be honest here. Well, the CM Punk thing's very similar. Because you had him at the height and the peak, and then they chip away at it.
Yes,
Here comes Triple H, here comes Kevin Nash. Break it down. And then it's never, they bring him up again, but it's never to that point. And it's like his talent and the way the fans react to him doesn't coincide with how he's used ever again, Just because that's not the way they want to go. It's not the guy. Well, it's always Triple H, too. It's fun. He's like the regulator. It's always the Click guys.
Yeah,
They're the regulators.
It's always the Click, yep.
They still run the show.
The Click run the show. They
come in and No, that's not for you. Bring him down a notch. Daniel Bryan, nope, that's not for you, sir. Here we go.
What does this say about HBK is my question.
I think he's just playing the part at this point.
Yeah, but like he trained Bryan. He obviously wants to see Bryan succeed. Why would he come in and agree to do this angle where he's going to super kick him?
Because it's like they're indoctrinated. There's a lot of people that will even tell you that this is good. Like they already made Bryan by doing this whole thing, right? That he's with the Wyatts now. He's going to put them over. They made him. It's like no, he never got the revenge on Triple H. What? There was no conclusion to it. It's not how it's done. You haven't beat people.
I don't get it. All right, so let's talk about Raw. Let's talk about because this is a wild Raw. I honestly,
the Shawn Michaels thing doesn't make sense, and it's basically like a waste.
It is a waste.
That's what you bring him in to do,
right?
So that's what you bring Shawn Michaels back to do.
So what a wild Raw, based off of all the things coming out of Hell in a Cell. It opens up with John Cena coming out, doing a promo in his old, like, almost ghetto-esque accent. You know what I mean? Some people say it's a Boston accent. That's not a Boston accent. That's like he's trying to speak almost Ebonics, all right? Like, this is his old character.
Well, he does that once in a while. He when the matches with The Rock, he pull it out sometimes. But then he just goes right back to, like, oh, that guy pooped his pants. Antonio Cesaro's nipples are big, and that'll be next week. Don't worry.
All right. So Cena, oh, I'm the champion. I beat Del Rio. I'm back. Blah, blah, blah. Who cares, right? He said, oh, I'm so happy that JBL motivated me by saying that I was going to come back too early and be permanently injured. It's too early for me to come back. Well, look at this, JBL. I'm the champion. I hate that shit. And the reason I hate it, you're the champion because they scripted it, you fuck. Like, I hate when they do those promos. I hate that.
Too.
It's not like he earned anything. It's not like he overcame anything. He's an asshole. I hate that fucking promo when they do that. Like, it's like, oh, I'm such a great athlete. No, you're not. Like, no, you didn't do anything. I hate those promos.
Well, it's the character. It's okay.
I know it's the character. It annoys me that they do that.
That shouldn't be the part that annoys you. There's a lot more here that should.
Well, all right. So then
that should drive you crazy.
So then Damian Sandow comes out and he says, "Oh, I'm gonna look. I have the money in the bank, Herbie Derby, whatever, his usual crap." And he says, "I'll cash it in any time but tonight." And then he immediately attacks Cena with the briefcase, which is hilarious because the briefcase just disintegrates in his hands. You can see it's made of like cardboard and shit. It's like pathetic. It's not. They were saying it was like some great briefcase to protect the contract. It wasn't. It was a piece of crap. So he beats Cena with the briefcase. He takes his chairs. He's slamming his arm. He throws him into the stairs. He fucking might as well shot him. You might as well shoot him in the shoulder at this point.
That wouldn't have stopped him.
No, that's what I mean. You might as well. You might as well just shoot him and fucking electrocute him and do all kinds of shit. Yeah. So he beats the shit out of him, cashes in his money in the bank contract. So you're like, oh, he's going to do it. He's going to pin him right away, and he's going to win the title. No, because this is John Cena. That's not going to happen.
And that almost would have made sense. Like, even despite how poorly they've treated Sandow since winning the thing. Like, okay, at least he beat the shit out of the guy with the messed up arm.
Right.
It would have been bad. It would have sucked because he's not a credible champion, obviously, based on how they booked him. But at least it would have been something.
It was nothing. It was a waste. It was a waste because now the entire thing with Sandow is wasted. Gone.
Well, not only does we didn't finish the match. Well, not only does Cena beat him, but at one point he gives him the attitude adjustment.
Twice. He has 2 attitude adjustments in this match.
Yeah, well, one of them, Sandow goes to the outside. So like, okay, he'll lose by count out. And then he could come back and say, I lost by count out. You didn't really beat me. There's some sort of a thing he could say as a heel.
Right.
That doesn't make him look like total shit. But Cena being the hero, the Jesus.
That's it.
I will not win by count out.
I need the pin.
He brings him back in the ring. And then he beats him there. I was like, what do you do with Sandow after that? I think he's
done.
You might as well just let him go.
He's back. He's right back to where he was. Back to mid-card heel. No one cares about him. Doing stupid jokes. He'll be back when Sheamus comes back in a month or two. Because he is, by the way, he's due to come back soon.
Well, yeah,
when Sheamus comes back, he'll be right back into that same... Remember that plot line? They'll be pulling ropes. He'll be doing tricks to fake fucking computers. They'll be doing the same joking bullshit.
He's at a worse point now than before he won the Money in the Bank. Think about that.
Yeah, he is.
He won the Money in the Bank.
Yep.
Has it for several months. He's somehow in a worse position than before that.
He's done.
How do you do that?
They literally buried him. It's horrible.
Just let him go.
And the thing that pisses me off, and I said this to John before we started the show this week, the announcers are now starting to call Cena Superman. And I'm getting real pissed now. Because we've said for years that John Cena, the reason we don't like Cena is because he's the same character. Everyone else in the company, they have to flip-flop from heel to face. They have to do different angles. John Cena, since he became this Superman character, what was it, 8 years ago, after his heel run.
It's quite a while.
He hasn't really, he's had a tiny variations. All right, when the Marine movie came out, he started wearing dog tags, all right? And since then, all right, tiny variation. He doesn't rap anymore. But he's the same Superman character. No matter what people throw at him, no one can pin him. And it's a fucking joke. He only gets pinned when it's means to an end. Daniel Bryan will pin him because he has to go get surgery, you know? But if anyone to legitimately beat Cena, why can't he legitimately be beaten? I hate to tell you this, WWE. Do you read Superman? He gets the fucking shit beat out of him all the time. People have kryptonite. They shoot him with special shit. And sure, he never definitively gets beat, but he loses. He has lost.
Even, like, you go back to Hulk Hogan, because the game's out, you're playing the Hulk Hogan stuff. Like, he would get the shit beat out of him, like, before a lot of those matches. Then that would be his, like, comeback thing.
Right.
You know. But I firmly believe that Cena is probably going to get screwed by the authority, whatever.
Eventually. That's where they're going.
And then he'll probably get screwed out of the title and then move him into that Orton
He'll
match.
Be the one. Right.
Yeah.
He'll be the one.
Yeah, if I had to. But, like, that Damien Sandow situation, like, just like you said, that's precisely a great example of why people don't like the Cena character, like that whole situation. Like, here's a guy with a messed up arm, he got the sheet bit out by
and he still can't lose.
A guy that's an upper coming dude.
He's wearing pink. He still can't lose.
And then he still can't lose. That's a great example there.
It's just like a spit in the face of anyone who's a serious wrestling fan, who's not a small child who were the fans of Cena. It's spit in your face when an announcer says, "My God, Cena is Superman." It's like, fuck you.
There's no reason to do it. I mean, the guy's he's Superman. He's super over. He won the title the night before. Does he really need to be doing this to Sandow the next day? Maybe just have a match with them. Like, he doesn't cash it in.
John, I have to move on because I'm so disgusted. I have to move on. All right. The next match was the Shield versus Big E, Langston, and the Usos. It ended up, I believe the Shield ended up, like, distracting at some point. Oh, I'm sorry, I screwed that up. It actually started out, my fault. Big E Langston was wrestling Dean Ambrose, but then the Shield got involved in the match, and therefore it ended up becoming a 6-man tag, and then eventually the Shield did beat Big E Langston and the Usos. Sorry about that. I screwed it over the beginning there. So Big E is a face. He's a full-on face now. His transformation is complete. The great hero.
No explanation.
Big E Langston.
We just did it.
He's a face.
Similar to a lot of other turns. The Bellas, they're just faces. You know, we'll just do it.
There you go.
Why even explain it?
Shawn Michaels comes out. This I fell asleep for. Comes out, apologizes to Daniel Bryan, has no real explanation whatsoever.
It's pretty much
any kind of legitimate explanation.
It was bad, and this is a complete waste of time. This is what you brought Shawn Michaels back to do.
Right.
You know, he basically says, "Oh, I saw you. You know, you my best friend, and there's a bond that you can't understand. As my best friend, so I have to kick you in the face." It's pretty much the crux of it. And he's telling Bryan to shake his hand. He's saying no, and da da da. Eventually, he puts him in the S lock, and Shawn's tapping, and some people, Shawn Michaels put him over. No, he's a retired wrestler.
Oh my God,
it's not a match. It's not. That's not putting anyone over. And then that was the segment. That's what you bring Shawn Michaels back to do.
Right. Great. And then they come backstage to where Daniel Bryan immediately gets the living shit kicked out of him by the Wyatt family.
Yeah, then the Wyatts come and
for no reason.
That's the new program. And what the Wyatts are saying, the reason they did this, the devil told us to do it.
The devil made them do it.
And here's the thing: if you have a storyline and the explanation is less than like 7 words, it's probably not a good storyline. Like the whole Triple H thing, best for business.
Best for business.
That's
3 words.
If we say that, then we don't have to explain anything. Read the fact that he turned heel and is now all of a sudden so concerned who's the champion. As long as we say a couple words,
that's right.
That's all we have to do.
Catchphrases.
And now they're attacking him because the devil made us do it. It's just a couple words. That's all we had to say. That's it. That's the storyline.
So I guess they're not attacking the Miz anymore. They're done with that storyline. They're dropping that.
And later they attack Punk. So we'll get to that.
We'll get to that. Don't spoil, right, John. You're spoiled.
Okay, I'm not spoiled. Well, they already saw it.
I know. I'm gonna.
They already watched it. All right, we'll talk about later then. Okay.
All right, Los Matadores defeat 3-man band for the 472nd time.
They had like a net or something. What the hell is this?
Huh?
Heath Slater had like a net. He was trying to.
Oh yeah, he was trying to catch Torito or whatever.
All right, sure. Okay.
And I guess Torito is wearing a new outfit. He's darker instead of the light brown. It's dark brown now.
And JBL thinks he's a bull or something.
He thinks he's a bull. Fear the bull.
Yes.
But what was it about Fear the Bull, something the legend or something like that? They're two catchphrases they have for these guys. They're terrible. They're not terrible. Their character is terrible. Let me put it that way. The wrestlers are actually quite good wrestlers. The characters are terrible. AJ Lee and Tamina Snuka have a tag match against the Bella Twins and win. Whoopity-doo. Seriously, whoopity-doo. Who cares? Kane comes back. He came back to Hell in a Cell. We didn't mention this. And he came out and kind of scared the Wyatts away, but then he attacked Miz. So you know what it was? Here's what it was. They want the Wyatts to do a different program.
Yeah, so they just...
You're already involved with Kane, and you're already involved with Miz, so let's just have the dumbest thing possible happen.
Just stop it.
Kane comes out and attacks Miz. What? So they have a match, and so stupid. Then Kane calls out Stephanie, right?
I didn't even see this. I have no idea.
Yeah, it says here Kane calls out Stephanie, and he endorses her manipulative tactics, saying that in this day and age, it's what's best for business.
Yeah, that's all you gotta do. Just say that. That's all you gotta say. Okay, where you been for the last couple months?
And then he takes his mask off.
Yeah.
On the ramp, it says, "This monster is yours to unleash."
That's because he's gonna be in the movie, so they want him to have no mask like he has in the movie. I don't know. Just
CM Punk. What was that? Oh, the hard drive sometimes does
something robotic.
No, it's the hard drive on the laptop.
Oh my God.
CM Punk, because, it wasn't bad enough that CM Punk beat Ryback less than a month ago at Battleground. CM Punk beat Ryback last night in a cell. Now we have to have CM Punk versus Ryback again on Raw.
Yeah.
Because like you said, every pay-per-view now, they do the same fucking match the next night. Why would you buy the pay-per-view if the same match happens the next night?
I don't know. There's no finishes. I don't know what's going on.
So, Punk wins. And then, of course, immediately after, the Wyatt family comes out and beat the shit out of CM Punk.
Yeah.
Makes no sense. Why are they doing this?
Well, here's the thing. The Wyatts came in red hot. White hot. More than red. White is above red.
Wow.
Yes. They did. People were real excited about this. And this could be a great storyline had they made these guys these unstoppable monsters destroying people. And now all of a sudden they put their sights on CM Punk and Daniel Bryan. Oh my God, this is going to be crazy. That's not really what they did with the Wyatts. I mean, they had the match with Kane. They lost the match. They feud with The Miz. Very lukewarm.
He had the outstanding match with Kane. Come on.
Kingston.
It was great. The Inferno match.
I mean, it's a very...
He made them.
I mean, it was a very...
He tried the spider walk on pay-per-view and fucked it up. I mean, he's got a lot of
It's like they didn't really know what to do with it. They were just kind of there. So it's like these guys were just kind of there. Oh, now they're attacking CM Punk. Okay.
Right.
They already do this with the Shield, that just attack people for no reason for several months, and it led to
this is how heels operate now.
It led to no purpose or reason, really, to it. But now they're just attacking them. I think there'll be some good matches out of it. Absolutely, I think it'll be fun to watch. But I mean, I don't know what's the end game here. The Wyatts should be put over, but do you want to see Bryan? Should Punk and Bryan be the ones to have to do this?
If anything, the only positive coming out of this situation, from my perspective. You get to see Punk and Bryan interact, and you get to see them team up.
You can do cool things. You could have a third guy. It could be Sami Zayn or one of the guys from NXT that they have history with, like Cassius.
That's not going to happen.
Cassius Ono.
I'm just out of your mind.
I'm just putting things out there. I don't expect that to happen.
It's not going to happen.
That's something they could do. And
it's going to be Santino, of course.
Probably something like that. Here's
Zack
the thing.
Ryder.
You want to put over the Wyatts, right? There's one way to do it, right? You got John Cena, who just came back. He doesn't need to be winning titles and all that shit. He's had the title 50,000 times. Have Bray Wyatt attack John Cena. And the storyline's already built in because Cena's the top guy and we're the Wyatts and we're weird and crazy. We were watching you. We hate you, what you represent.
Right.
And then have Bray Wyatt beat the shit out of him and pin him. And guess what? You've made a guy. You've made a terrible heel. And then when he goes against CM Punk or Daniel Bryan, you go, oh my God, these guys are crazy. Well, that's not what they do. Cena's going to be doing stuff that doesn't help anyway. And it's their own fault. They have a situation where Cena's the only one that can really put people over. And it very rarely ever happens.
Yep.
So, okay, enjoy.
All right. The Real Americans defeat Cody Rhodes and Goldust, which now everyone is saying is going to put them into position for possibly a title match, which is fine. I'd like to see, Cody Rhodes and Goldust is, like we said, they're probably going to team up for a few months. They'll probably have the titles for a little bit. They really don't have anything else for them to do right now anyway. And this is good because the Real Americans, I'll be honest, both Jack Swagger and Antonio Cesaro, great wrestlers.
Oh,
and They haven't let Swagger really do much of anything in years. Cesaro has been showing off with his freaking giant swing, you know what I mean? And so he's a great wrestler, and they've been in shit position. They really have.
Is the giant swing in the game?
I don't know.
I doubt it. You could add it in though.
Yeah, it's a rare move that
we'll have to take a look at.
Put it in his moveset. You could do that, right? You can put him in their moveset.
You could change the guy's entire thing.
That should be like his signature move, not his finisher, but like his signature move. You know.
Yeah.
So it's good to see the Real Americans are finally going to look like they move into a position where they'll have a program. By the way, with 2 other very good wrestlers, and maybe we'll get to see a really good program between these 2 in the next few weeks. At least that's what I'm hoping. The next pay-per-view is Survivor Series. So maybe there's a possibility where we'll have 2 big tag, Real Americans and the Shield versus like, the Goldust, Cody Rhodes, the Usos, and maybe Big E or something like that. As like a Survivor Series elimination.
It's definitely one of the positives right now, like that they have some tag teams. I don't know if any of them really are like, well, we got to see these guys, but like at least they have something going. The Shield's really legit.
Los Matadores.
They don't seem to be involved. They just fight 3MB.
That's all they fight. 3MB.
That's like a separate federation where they just fight each other.
The Jobber Tag Federation.
It's like the Harlem Globetrotters.
Wrestle crap.
It's the Harlem Globetrotters. They always fought that one. They always play against that one team.
The Generals.
Yeah, that's it. That's what it is.
All right, Alberto. I can't say his name. I can't say it.
Alberto.
I can't say it. Alberto Del Rio comes out. This is hilarious. He comes out. He's like, I'm mad that John Cena beat me. Don't wake me up, Cena, because I'm going to wrestle you again at some point. And that's it. It's like the promo. It's like, gee, I wonder if he'll be winning his title back with the strong promo like that.
I think he might, actually. Like I said, I think they might screw him. Cena, like Triple H and Orton and them screw him. Del Rio gets it back. He goes off to whatever jobber matchup they stick him with. And then Cena's into the other feud now. I don't know. We'll see.
Natalya wrestles Summer Rae, and all I need to do to summarize this match, I will read you one sentence, and then we will move on. Ready? Natalya proved the victor when she capitalized on Summer's distraction from a ringside brawl between Fandango, Hornswoggle, and the Great Khali.
All right.
Okay. Well, we know that match was worth watching. On to the next. And then the main event of the night, Randy Orton has his celebration, his great celebration in the ring. He is now the champion. And he's going to have a celebration. And Stephanie comes out, and Triple H comes out, and everyone, the Shield is out there to defend them. All the superstars are on the ramp once again. The same plotline from 2 months ago. They're forcing everyone to basically submit to their will. Randy Orton has this really cocky promo where he says, you are all now my inferiors. I am your superior. I tell you what to do because I'm the champion. I'm in charge, yada, yada, yada. And finally, as he's saying all this, the Big Show comes out. Now, it's not that just the Big Show comes out, who's fired, by the way. His fucking music plays again.
I told you last week about this. They have chips put into their wrists. They walk through the entranceway.
Wasn't the plot line last week that Big Show, everyone who was involved in having him come out got fired? So who the hell would now play the music again?
Some other crazy guy, a rebel sound man.
So he comes out. He's fired. Yet he's wearing a new T-shirt. Sure. Comes to the ring. Basically grabs a mic and, talking shit to the McMahons, to Randy Orton.
Was David Otunga on the show? I think.
For like half a second.
Yeah.
He was like the legal counsel about Big Show's lawsuit, which that's pertinent that you actually said that.
Yeah.
Because supposedly Big Show has a pending lawsuit against the company where
he could like get millions and like remove them from power.
It was explained on actually, out of all things, Main Event. They explained it. They had the behind the scenes interview with Triple H. Supposedly the lawsuit is supposed to be that they made him do things that weren't in his contract, like knocking people out left and right. That wasn't part of his contract. They basically kind of bullied him and had discrimination against him and wrongful termination because he didn't do anything wrong, like according to his contract. Because remember, supposedly he had the ironclad contract. So they broke his ironclad contract by firing.
Too bad he didn't look into this before he started to punch people and all that. He could have maybe called a lawyer or something. No, just punch Miz.
This could be the best thing to ever happen to Big Show. He could get millions of dollars out of nowhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe that's why he did. He knew.
If
he went along with it, then he could then sue them later.
So that's the lawsuit. And so he grabs the mic and he basically says, you don't get it. You think that you're going to get rid of me. You're not. even though I'm fired, I'm going to sue you for millions and millions. I'm going to make sure that you get kicked out of your throne. I'm going to make sure that you lose. I don't care if the whole company goes under. I'm going to basically get the upper hand here, which prompts Orton. He hits him with the title, and then Orton goes to hit him again, and he knockout punches him. It's pathetic, though. It's like an uppercut or something. It's really badly done. And then Triple H teases like he's going to get in the ring, starts taking his tie off, and then he walks away. And so now the storyline is Triple H is a coward. He won't face Big Show, afraid of Big Show, despite the fact that Big Show has never beaten Triple H, I think. If you actually look at the statistics, I don't think he's never beaten him ever. Triple H always squashes him. And so now it looks like it's going to be Big Show and Orton. So right in one night, we've completely, changed everything. You've got a new program of the Wyatts versus CM Punk and Daniel Bryan. And you've got Big Show now in the title picture, supposedly against Randy Orton, which makes no sense, of course, because Big Show's fired. He's not even with the company. I guarantee you what it'll be. Here we go. You ready? Here's the WWE genius minds at work. Well, Big Show agrees to drop his lawsuit as long as we give him his job back and he gets a title shot against Randy Orton.
Yeah.
Gee, I wonder if that will work.
Or Vince is going to, be his benefactor or something.
Right.
Which wouldn't make any sense because
Vince will come back and he'll say, "Well, I can't let the company fall because of this lawsuit." So he'll help Big Show. Big Show will drop the lawsuit.
Something like that, yeah.
Yes.
But I mean, like the bigger picture is you have John Cena as one champion, the other champion's Randy Orton. He's going against the Big Show, and then Triple H is the power figure. So it's like the same old thing, man. And does anyone really want to see any of this?
No.
Like, why even have?
No.
Why even have NXT? Why even have the developmental center? Why even bother? It's the same people, just get fed all the time. So what is really the point? I'll predict the next several years of WWE for you. They bring in some hot guy from the Indies, put him through NXT. Everyone's real excited. He shows up on the show. They push him to a point, and then they stop because they got to put over Cena and the same old cast of characters.
Cena will still be in the main event of everything.
Yeah,
whether or not he's wrestling for a title, he'll be in the main event of every pay-per-view. And
at least for a little longer. And then you open down the line, so all that happens. People get real excited. Oh my God, this is the change. Daniel Bryan, no. Here's the change. CM Punk before that, no. It's the same. It's just the same thing, man. And they just really make the show for them, and about them.
Right.
And that's it. They put themselves over. That's the show.
All right, so that's it for WWE this week. Next week we'll have a lot more for you with obviously what happens on SmackDown, which we don't know yet, and Raw and all that. And it's a while now. I think it's the end of the month. This is Survivor Series, if I remember correctly. It's near the end of the month. So probably we'll be talking more and more about that as it builds up. And that's pretty much it for WWE this week. Now for Impact. So leading off of what we talked about last week, AJ Styles beats Bully Ray, becomes the World Heavyweight Champion of TNA Wrestling. Basically does not agree to any kind of a contract agreement with Dixie Carter. Mm-hmm. And basically walks out on the company. Says, "No, I'm taking this title to the people. Yeah, you don't deserve this title because it's the
CM Punk storyline. Yeah,
it's the CM Punk storyline."
But he is actually defending the title. He's in Mexico this weekend, doing stuff with the belt, and I believe he's going to be doing like a whole thing. I wonder how they're going to translate that into the show. Are they going to mention it? Because what would be the point if they don't say anything? Right. Like 10 people online know, and then no one else knows.
Right, I don't know.
Maybe they'll show some kind of clips or something. I don't know.
I do not know.
They should definitely try to put that over somehow.
Right.
So.
Okay, so he's gone. And so Dixie comes out and announces a big announcement. She's doing a tournament, just like you said, a tournament of champions.
Well, I read the results. That's why
you read the results.
That's why I knew.
You cheated.
I didn't predict that.
How dare you? A tournament of champions. All former champions will be going up against each other in this tournament, okay? So let's announce it's James Storm, Kurt Angle, Samoa Joe, Jeff Hardy, Chris Sabin, Austin Aries, Bobby Roode, and there's going to be one final entrant who is going to be the winner of this gauntlet match that they're going to do at the end of the night. Gauntlet style match, all right? So basically Bully Ray comes out and he's pissed. He's like, "Wait a minute. Why am I not in the picture? What's going on? I'm not in this. What's going on?" And Dixie basically says, "You already had 2 chances. You lost the title, you lost him again, and you tapped out. But even worse, you tapped out.
Whoa.
So it's like, you basically got completely destroyed by him, and you don't deserve the shot." And then as she's telling him this, Mr. Anderson comes out and attacks him. All right.
He's out of jail. Is he supposed to be there still, or is he?
I don't know. I don't know, but then he gets arrested again.
They play his music?
He gets yes.
I don't know what the hell.
They play his music, but then he
this?
gets arrested again, right?
What the hell
So
is
then they
this?
cut to backstage. He's being walked out in cuffs.
Yeah.
Bully Ray attacks him, and the two people who were escorting him out run away.
They're afraid.
They run away.
They're scared.
And Bully Ray, now this is weird too. So Bully Ray's beating him with his chain, and it's brutal. He's beating him, showing him beating. But they blurred out Anderson.
Because he's not supposed to be out.
They blurred him, like he's blurred from the camera. And I was like, is that a work? Are they doing that because he's not supposed to be there?
Or is he bloodied or something?
Or what happened? You couldn't tell because it was really real blurry.
I didn't hear anything about this.
I don't know. The whole camera was blurred over where his body was on the ground, getting whipped with this chain.
I have no idea.
So I don't know what happened there.
He was just mouthing things, curse words, filthy things.
Right.
They had to bleep it and.
So I guess Nux is going to be in this gauntlet. A lot of people are in this gauntlet. It's weird.
Nux has got in?
A lot of people got into this gauntlet. It's pretty
How'd you get into a gauntlet if you never had a match?
Okay.
You had one match before.
The tag team champions, the Bromans, are going to defend their titles against James Storm and Gunner for the rematch. It's an interesting match. The Bromans have new music now. That's pretty terrible, pretty similar to their old music. It's like dubstep now, though. So it's like whooping as they come down to the ring. It's really weird.
That's what people like, man.
And so they're having this match, and the Bromans, they're green, obviously. They're more in there for their physiques than anything else. I do think they have potential that in the future they can get better, but it's all right. It is for what it is right now. They're wrestling the guy. The ending's weird. It's a typical heelish ending. So Jesse Goddard's on the ring apron, and James Storm goes to suplex him into the ring. But while he's doing that, Robbie E grabs James Storm's leg, so he loses his balance. So basically, Goddard just pancakes him, and then he actually holds his leg during the pin. It looks hilarious, the camera angle. So he's like trying to kick and he can't because he's holding his leg. The ref somehow doesn't see it and counts 3. So the Bromans retain the tag team titles, and it looks like they're going to go on to a long, illustrious run, and they will be inducted into the Hall of Fame soon. Okay. All right.
It's possible.
Sting, in a surprise twist,
the Stinger.
Dixie Carter invites Sting to her office and says, "Listen."
And she's completely nude when he gets there.
Whoa.
Starts a whole new storyline.
Whoa. Okay.
Come into my office.
I didn't see that one coming.
Sting,
wow.
come to my office.
They're about the same age, so you know.
Yeah, it's nothing wrong with that.
All right. So Dixie invites Sting to the office, and after they have a rousing round of sex,
that did
she
happen.
basically tells Sting.
Austin Aries. Alex Shelley was there. He filmed it with his camera. This weird eye thing he used to do.
Yes, Alex Shelley. All right. So she tells Sting, "Listen, I'm going to give you a shot tonight. Even though and this is exactly what we said would happen. Even though you're never supposed to have a chance for the title again.
You get another chance for the title again.
I'm going to put you into the gauntlet match. If you can survive the gauntlet match, you'll get the title shot. However, I'm going to put you first."
Whoa.
So it was like it was weird because like he gets a shot, but she like sticks it to him by putting him first, showing that she still has authority. Yeah. It was an interesting angle. All right, so he's in the
Sting
match.
in it, so it's
all
always
right.
go when Sting's involved.
So Christopher Daniels and Kaz, I keep forgetting what his full name is.
Frankie Kazarian.
Frankie Kazarian. Thank you. I'm used to calling him Kaz. I'm not used to
you can call him Kaz. It's acceptable.
So because it's Halloween, this is so silly. This is the silly plot.
These guys are great.
They're dressed up like Sherlock Holmes, both of them, and they're going around backstage because at Bound for Glory, Abyss had shown up. Abyss showed up and basically attacked them out of nowhere, and everyone was like, "What the hell? Where's Abyss been?" So tonight they're gonna go around trying to find out what happened to Abyss. They're looking at all these magnifying glasses and everything, trying to find him, and they run into Eric Young. And first they run into ODB and they talk about her breasts for like a minute. I'm not even kidding.
It's fine.
It's really like they were like oversized double bazongas or something. Like it was weird what they were saying. It was so weird. So then Eric Young shows up because he's pissed that they're talking about her breasts.
Yeah, right.
And he says, "You know what?
It's offensive.
Halloween is a night for monsters, and you just might see a monster tonight." So he's like hinting, that Abyss might show up. All right.
He wasn't talking about the breast. He was talking about Abyss.
No.
Okay.
EC3 is back. Ethan Carter III has another match against another jobber. Apparently this was the same jobber he beat at Bound for Glory. He has a second match. And it's exactly what we said it's going to be. Like you said, he's probably going to beat a ton of jobbers forever to say that he's undefeated.
Someone will get in his face or something.
Right. So it's silly. It's silly.
Yeah, there's some potential with that dude. Like I said last time, I don't know if the character might hold him back in the long run. It's quite ridiculous.
Also,
Yeah.
it's announced that the main event of the night is going to be Angle and Rude, the rematch. Now, supposedly Angle is medically cleared, but the doctor told him you shouldn't wrestle anyway. You should take time off. But Angle's determined he wants to have this rematch. Rude is trying to get out of it. He keeps trying to convince the doctor to say he's not medically cleared, but eventually he clears him, and they're going to have the match later tonight. Okay. There's a singles match. It is ODB against Gail Kim.
You know, so they never say what ODB means. I know what it means.
They said
I can't say it.
I forget.
I believe it's one dirty
bitch.
Yeah, I believe so. I wasn't going to say the word you said.
Okay, they said it a long time ago
on the show.
Yeah,
really.
They did explain it at one point.
Okay.
So
fair enough.
They do have a match. It's supposed to be, I believe. Well, actually, no. Actually, the gauntlet match is next. Let's talk about that. Okay. The gauntlet match is interesting. At certain periods of time, you got people teaming up. I think the final four were Bad Influence against Magnus and Sting. And so they basically went after Bad Influence. They knocked them both out, and then all of a sudden Magnus turns around, throws Sting out.
Yeah.
So now Magnus is going to be in this.
I think he's going to win the title, actually. But again, it's like, it's the same storyline. So if let's say he wins the title, then when does AJ come back? Like the next week,
right? And
then they start a program. Okay, does that get Magnus over that much? I don't know. Maybe. We'll find out.
All right.
That's my prediction, though. I think he'll probably do it.
I could see that. And then maybe they'll turn him heel, They'll make him cocky again.
Yeah.
He's back to his old character. I could see that.
Oh, yeah. He's good. He's a great talent. I like him. But, I mean, it's the same storyline. So unless there's some kind of major twist with this, if it's just AJ comes back and they both have belts and they go, who's the real champion? That's like you've been there before, man. We've seen that a lot of times. So hopefully there's something in there, like a twist on this, a variation on this story.
Hogan comes back.
Tell you what, brother, both of those belts are mine now, dude.
He wins them both.
I'm going to go fight Triple H now. We're going to combine every belt in all of wrestling. The two greatest of all time, dude.
Oh, my God. All right, so Gail Kim and ODB ODB gets her rematch, a return match from Bound for Glory, where she lost the Knockouts title. Exactly what you expect. Lady Tapa's interfering and all this stuff, and then finally there's a distraction. Gail Kim does get the roll up on ODB, and Gail Kim retains the title. Woo-hoo. Okay. The two divas they have left besides, I guess, Velvet Sky as well.
Sky.
So they got like 3 people who can actually. Oh, and Brooks. They have 4. They have 4 female wrestlers left.
Yeah.
All right, and then the main event. The main event of the night. Actually, hold on. I take it back. Something happened with Bad Influence. Bad Influence comes out. Oh, we figured it out. The mystery of Abyss. And of course, I forget what it is. Like they insult him or something. I don't know, something stupid.
Joseph Park?
Yeah, they insult Joseph Park. Because Eric Young comes out dressed as Joseph Park for Halloween. He has the jumpsuit on and everything. That's really dumb. And then all of a sudden, Abyss comes out and of course proceeds to destroy both of them. And then he basically helps Eric Young up, and you find out Abyss is friendly with Eric Young. So now will it be Abyss and Eric Young instead of Joseph Park and Eric Young? Will they have a plot line where they get rid of Joseph Park? I don't know. It's very confusing.
I don't know.
Will they reveal that Joseph Park is Abyss? You know what I mean?
Apparently the things I've heard of, like, Joseph Park, his name's Chris Park, really. He's like 40 years old. His body's been through a lot as Abyss. So they don't like always want him to be Abyss because Abyss always has to take like a lot of damage.
Insane bumps
for some reason. I don't know.
Crazy matches.
I guess you could have him just not kill him, but I guess they feel like we can't have Abyss if he doesn't get killed. So they can have Joseph Park where he doesn't have to do a lot. Sometimes turn into Abyss and then do a bump or two and then go on his way. I guess I don't know. That's the story.
Okay, there's a backstage vignette where it's Dixie Carter calls Jeff Hardy and Chris Sabin into her office, and she says, "For this tournament, I'm going to introduce a new thing." The Wheel of Dixie.
And she's nude on a wheel.
And she... What? John, you're infatuated with Dixie Carter. Just admit it.
It just sounds like the way...
admit it.
Like, I didn't see this, but the way that you say it is like... It's like a setup to like a porn. It's like, yes, the Dixie Colts sting into her... Like, just the way you say it. It's just like...
Oh, my God.
The Wheel of Dixie. What the hell do you think that sounds like to anyone? Think about this.
John... I'm sure you can
She's going to have something called the Wheel of Dixie.
Nicely photoshopped nude pics
I don't want
of
to
Dixie
see
Carter
it. I'm just
today.
saying. It's just the way...
When you get home, you can see that kind of stuff. All right.
I have a smartphone. I can look at this anytime.
She calls them into her office. The wheel of Dixie. Basically, it's a wheel of stipulations. And so every week she's going to have the two people who are going to be wrestling in this title tournament into her office. They're going to spin the wheel and see what the stipulation for their match is going to be.
I think Bischoff did this when he was the Smack or the Raw GM.
He did. Yeah, he was the one who introduced it. The
Raw Roulette.
Yes. So they spin the wheel, and it's Full Metal Mayhem, to which Chris Sabin flips out. I can't believe it. How could this be what the match will be? Jeff Hardy's happy. He's like, hey, I'm so high on drugs, I don't feel anything anyway. This is great. Let's do Full Metal Mayhem.
We get hit with a chair 100 times a day.
All right, so he's not on drugs anymore. I take that back. That was a low
Hardy,
blow.
Man.
That was a low blow. I take it back. I apologize. Mr. Hardy.
He's been good for a while now.
He has. I apologize. So then the main event, Bobby Roode against, I'm in ads and shit. Bobby Roode against Kurt Angle. Bobby Roode against Kurt Angle. They're wrestling. It's very reminiscent of the match from Bound for Glory. They're hitting certain spots and stuff. At one point, there's a ref bump, so the ref is distracted.
It's TNA, so of course there's a ref bump.
The end of the match, if you can believe it, ends almost the same as the match from Bound for Glory with a twist. So Angle goes to do an angle slam from the top rope, again on Roode. He doesn't get the whole thing this time. He almost only does like a half angle slam. He lands on the mat, and he acts like basically he's fucked up.
Why would he do the same spot? It was the same spot?
It's the same spot.
Why would he do it again?
But he's not knocked out this time. Now he's fucked up like he's like...
Yeah, but he still had a problem, so
like
why would
he can't... Like he's like... He's not all there, you know
why
what I mean?
would he do it again?
And so Roode, like, can't believe it. Roode's looking at him like, oh shit, like he's serious. Like, I guess they played out Roode's not that bad of a guy that he would attack him when he's all fucked up.
He doesn't want him to die.
He's looking at him, he's like, oh fuck, what happened? And the ref even gets up and looks at him and is like, what the hell? And they call these refs, and they can't even get him to move. Like, he's all fucked up. Like, it's not that he can't, it's like he can't move, almost like maybe he broke his back or something.
Yeah.
So, and that's the end of the show. So they're teasing some plot line here with Angle where he's going to be injured. Of course, he'll still want to wrestle for the title, and they'll have him wrestle some other crazy shit.
He'll tell him no and everything, and then he'll...
All right. So this is interesting. The reason I think this is interesting is Bound for Glory is over. The Bound for Glory series. And like we said, the Bound for Glory series is interesting because it actually has, every match counts. It leads up into what's going to happen. These matches are more interesting at that point. And typically you see matches of guys who don't have feuds against each other, but they're having these matches to get points.
Faces versus face, a lot of different things.
So now we have a series where that might happen again, where it's it's kind of like just continuing the same thing.
But don't you feel like it's kind of like too soon?
Yeah, and at the same time, it's like you said, we all know what's going to happen.
But
AJ's going to come back, and
unless they do something really cool and new, but I wouldn't give them that much credit right now.
Right.
Well, that's the thing. You had the whole Bound for Glory series, this brutal tournament over the course of several months. You had a winner, AJ. He wins the title, but now he's gone. We have a new one. It's like, okay. I mean, even if it was like a couple months from now, it would be better. But
right.
I think it'll be good. It'll be entertaining. Definitely to watch some of these matches. Are gonna be really cool. So that's a good thing. But if it's just AJ's back and here I go, he'll title for title, and
the same plot, right?
We saw that, So.
All right, so that's it for this week for Smart Guys. A lot of stuff going on in wrestling, like we said. Next week we'll be reviewing all the new things building up into. It's kind of interesting now because now they're both companies are building into totally new storylines now. They're rebooting everything. And it'll be interesting to see what I want to know. What the hell's going to happen to Bully Ray? It's going to be Bully Ray and Anderson forever now, I guess.
Yeah, probably like 2-3 times.
And then it's like...
I would say like a couple months.
He's done after that. Like, what are they going to do with him,
He can always come back, if depending on what... He always going to come back to the title.
Aces and Eights is pretty much done at this point.
Did they hint at those new guys yet? They did that a couple times.
I didn't see anything, but then again, maybe I wasn't paying attention. I don't know.
They did it a few times where he's like talking to people.
Right.
They could be like new guys or something, but I don't know.
I don't know.
They're going to continue that or not.
So we'll be back next week with... another Smart Guys covering everything that's going on. However, if you are watching, know that today we are going to be doing a full day of WWE 2K14 simulations. WWE 2K14 came out 3 days ago, and we're very excited to try it out in simulations, but also matches.
Phil's gonna break the streak.
I will.
Break the streak mode.
Today I will break the streak.
Yeah.
I will become the one who ends The Undertaker once and for all.
I was telling Phil before, quickly, I did it a few times. I was Macho Man. And I thought I had Undertaker beaten. I beat the shit out of him with chairs and the ring steps, multiple finishers. I hit him with one elbow drop, then another. Go for the pin. He does like a raging demon.
Yeah.
Where everything goes black. You hear the chimes. He's behind you, gives you a tombstone. I actually got an achievement for kicking out of 5 tombstones in this match. I think it was like 60 points. And I still lost.
You
the
still
net.
lost.
It's insanely hard.
We will beat the streak.
No, we won't.
Today we will beat the streak.
I couldn't do it.
I will do it. I'll just pick John Cena and I'll win him in like
You
2 seconds.
you could put a custom guy against him. So I think if you
Yeah.
up the stats.
Yeah, 100 stats and the best moves.
Well, I did it maybe 3 or 4 times. It was very hard.
Okay.
You can try. I will not be participating.
All right, we're going to do lots of stuff, all kinds of stuff in WWE 2K14 today. So definitely check it out, whether on the stream on Twitch TV or on YouTube DSP Gaming. I'll be uploading those videos later today. So definitely check that out. All right. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in to another edition of Smart Guys. We'll see you next week. For John Rambo, I'm DSP. Have a good week.
That's right.
See you next time. Peace.
Bye.